2006 H3. Steering wheel, when I got this truck a couple weeks ago, the steering wheel, when you're going straight, when the vehicle was straight, the steering wheel was cocked a little bit to the left, probably at about a 45-degree angle. Actually, I say a little bit, it was a little bit more than that. But anyway, so trying to figure out what to do to straighten the wheel, and I saw videos online talking about adjusting tie rod ends and talking about inner and outer tie rods, and I've never messed with suspensions too much, so I'm not entirely sure what they were really talking about. So I figured I'd make this video to show the rest of you guys what the deal is with that. So wheel is to the left when you're cruising straight. So when you straighten up the wheel, when you're driving straight, the vehicle tracks to the right in this case. So what we need to do is, if the wheel is straight, the front tires are to the right. So we need to adjust the tie rods to bring the front tires back in line when the wheel is in the correct position. So what you can do is pull straight into your driveway or whatever, parking lot. Make sure that when you stop, you have your wheel position straight, and then you're going to go under the front of the vehicle. So here's the tools I used: 7/8 wrench, and it's adjustable Sharpie, and some WD-40 or PB Blast or some kind of lubricant. Okay, so here we go. Here's the front. Turn around, go underneath. So now I'm on my back, so what we're looking at is upside down. So this is how you'll see it when you get under there. First thing is this nut, you have to loosen it on each side. So I would spray your threads. I guess this is the inner tie rod end and outer tie rod end. So spray your threads with some kind of lubricant each side, and then, you know, you're all upside down and backwards and whatever, so you got to figure out which way to turn this nut to loosen it. This is just a jam nut. Keeps the inner tie rod from moving once you get in the right spot. So on this side, this is the driver's side, you want to put your wrench on this nut, and you're going to push up toward the front. So put our wrench on the nut, and we're going to push up toward the top, up toward like the headlights. Other side is going to be backwards. So put your nut up, put your wrench on the nut, you're going to pull down, and this is where, when it breaks loose, you're going to bust your elbow on the pavement. So be aware of that. Alright, so once you get those backed out, I'm not going to do it because I just tightened them back up and test drove it. Get you a Sharpie or something, maybe some whiteout or a paint pen, and you want to make a mark on your outer and your inner tie rod. That way you know how it was set. So in this case, like I said, we want to take the tires and bring them in to the left. We want the tires to come to the left. So basically your tires need to go the same direction your steering wheel is leaning towards. So mine was leaning left, so we need the tires to come to the left. So in order to do that, this is passenger side, we need to shorten this. So what we do is we take our other, I use the adjustable wrench for this, and there's some flat spots here where you can put your wrench on. So you put it on that, and you're going to turn this so that this rod gets shorter. Now if you think about it, this one is threaded into this one, so you'd want to turn it to the right to go in more, okay? Because we want this to we want this part of the tie rod to slide up this direction. So that means we have to turn this one to the right, because this is where your adjustment is. So in order to make that happen, you're going to put your wrench on like this and go up toward the front, again, like toward the headlights. Now, depending on how bad it is, you'll have to judge it. In my case, I thought it was pretty extreme, so I put 2 cranks on this guy. And you got to do the same amount of rotation on each side so it don't screw your alignment up. So come back over here on this one. This is driver's side again. We want this tire to go that direction, so we have to make this thing longer. So in order to make this longer, we're going to back this out of this tube, so we turn it to the left, so we take this up. So when people say you turn them both the same direction, that's what they mean. Like, you put your wrench on it and you go up, and on this side you put your wrench on it here and you go up. So you're making the same motion on each side depending on which direction you want it to go. So if you want your front tires to go more toward the left, you put your wrench on and you go up. If you want your tires to go more toward the right, you'd put your wrench on and pull down on either side. So I put 2 full revolutions in there, and based on the marks I was able to tell exactly when that happened. Bring your jam nuts back down, and when you tighten this jam nut, you're going to want to put your wrench back on your inner tie rod before you tighten that, because when you start trying to tighten it, it could turn your inner tie rod, and then you're out of alignment again. So put a wrench here, hold it still while you're tightening that, take it for a test drive, see where you are. You know, if it's better but not right, then you need to move it some more, maybe another half turn. If it's too far the other way, you went too far, so you just got to back up. But anyway, that's the deal with the whole inner and outer tie rod adjustment and turning things the same way.